Hello guys, welcome back to another Korean lesson video. Today we're going right into our new book. It's called 한글학교 한국어 1. It's the pink book that you probably should have when your parents picked up or your guardian picked up your study books during the beginning of this quarter. And today we're doing lesson 5. And it's actually not anything new. It's actually review. But before we go right into the lesson. We're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up and what we're going through today. So as an overview, we're going through moms and chams, or it's consonants and vowels. So basically all the Korean that we've learned until now. We're going to be reviewing it briefly before diving into the new content in this book. And the lesson plan that I gave to your guardian or parents shows that I actually have a lesson today from page 4 to 33. But after further consideration and thinking, I decided to make it into a 2-week lesson plan. So today, instead of doing everything in 1 week, we're going to go from page 4 to 16. And then on the second week, we're going to do 17 to 33. So instead of 4 to 33 lesson, we're doing 2. I've cut it in half. Mainly because it's going to be too long and I want this to be short and sweet. Alrighty, so let's dive straight into the lesson. Today we're doing page 4 to 16. This is page 4. Then 가나다라. And then it's 자음s, the 기역, 니은, 디귿, 리을, and 아야, 어여, moms. Remember that when we add consonant vowels or 자음s and moms together, we get a letter in Korean. And when we add the letters together, then we get words. Alrighty, so mom 1. Mom 1 is 아야, 어여. And when you write it down, it's 아야, 어여. 아야, 어여. We have a second way of spelling them here. 아야, 어여. Now remember, this method is actually using the 자음s from over here and just writing it down here. But the reason we do this is because the iung as a 자음, or like right here, it's silent. So no matter if I put an iung and then a moum, these, down, then it's just going to pronounce the same, regardless of how I spell these two, because it's silent. So we usually just write it like this because it's nicer to look at, so that's why it's spelled out like this here. So it's aya, oyo, just the same. Aya, oyo, aya, oyo. Alrighty. Page 6. It's 오요, 우유. 오요, 우유. And when you spell it the other way, it's 오요, 우유. 오요, 우유. 오요, 우유. And finally, then e. And when you spell it the other way, it's e. Alright, let's look at a couple of vocabulary words that's employing all of these letters. So the first one is iung a. So it's a plus iung e, 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 these two letters combined, e. I is young child. Alright, the next one is o, and then e. So o, and then e. O, e. O-e. Spell it out. O-e. O-e in Korean, English is cucumber. Finally, the last one is u, and then adding u. U, u is uyu. Or in English, it's milk. Alrighty. Now, if you taken early Korean, then you can tell that it's just aya, oyo, oyo, uyu, ui. So this is the basic moms that we learned very, very early on when we first started learning Korean. And then we learned it from maybe the song. You guys heard of the song before? Aya, oyo, oyo, uyu, ui. And that's one way you can memorize the moms. and the letters. Alrighty, now we're driving straight into chaums. Chaums, of course, are these things on the left side. So we're looking at actual chaums that have sounds instead of it being silent. The first one is kiung, niun, digut, liul. Kiung, niun, digut, liul. And then we put it, and then of course, to make it simple and easy to understand, we add a moam, just a, to here. Then we just start. We go ka, na, ka, ra. Alright, the next three are mium, piup, and shield. Mium, piup, shield. Ma, pa, sa. And then finally, on page 10, the next three, and remember this is silent, so it's just ja, cha, iung, jiut, chut. And then finally, hiut, tigut, tiut, tigut, piut, piut. Tiut, tigut, piut, hiut. Ka, ta, ha, ha. Alrighty, so before we move on, remember the alphabet song, kana, ta, ra, ma, pa, sa, a, ja, cha, ka, ta, ha, ha. Kana, ta, ra, ma, pa, sa, a, ja, cha, ka, ta, pa, ha. From the alphabet song, we know that this is what is going back through. And now that we know that we're using chaums, so kiung, niun, digut, liul, mium, piup, shiot, iung, jiut, jiut, chit, cute, tigut, piup, hiup. They're adding them to moams. Aya, oyo, o, yo, u, yu, e. Adding these two components together to make letters. So let's take out a couple examples. Alright, first we got 기억. We put 기읒, 기억, 그, plus 모음, plus 가. And then we have 시옷 plus 우. So 수, 가, 수. 가수. Then that means singer. Look at the next one. 기억 plus 이, which is 기. And then we have tiot plus equals cha. So 기, 차. 기차 is train. Now look at niun. Niun plus is na. Piuk plus 이 is 비. 나비. 나비 is butterfly. Then we have niun plus u is nu. Then we have niun plus is na. And together is nuna. Nuna is of course older sister called by younger brother. So only younger brothers say nuna. If you say younger sister, say 언니. Alrighty. And then finally we have 디귿 on this page. 디귿 is 디귿 plus equals 다. 리을 plus 이 is 리. So 다리. 다리 is of course bridge. It can also mean leg, but in this image we have a bridge, so it's a bridge. Finally, 기억 plus 우 equals 구. 디귿 plus 우 is 두. 구두. 구두 is of course shoes or oh, excuse me. And then in this case, high heels. Or it can also mean boots for guys. Alrighty. Let's look at 릴 on page 13. 릴 plus 아 is 라. And then we have 디귿 plus 이 is 디. Finally, 이응 plus 오 is 오. This is the same 오. Together, 라, 디, 오. Radio is radio. Next one, 이응 plus 오. Again, is 오. 릴 plus 이 is 리. 오리. 오리 is, of course, duck. Next one, 미음 plus 어 is 뭐. 릴 plus 이 is 리. 머리. 머리 is, of course, head. The 미음 plus 오 is 모. 모. 기역 plus 기 is 기. 모기. 모기. Mogi is, of course, in English, mosquito. Finally, for piup plus a is pa. Jit plus a, ji is ji. Pa, ji. Paji, pants. And then finally, piup plus a is pa. Siot plus u is su. Bus. Bus is, of course, in Korean, in English, it's just bus. Bus, and bus. Sounds the same. There are a couple words like that in Korean, by the way. Let's do that. They sound exactly the same as English, and they mean the same thing too. Alright, next page. We have 시옷. 시옷 is 스 plus 아 is 사. 지 plus 아 is 자. 사자. 사자는 is, in English, lion. The next one is just one letter. 시옷 plus 오 is 소. Which is, of course, 소 is cow. The next one. 짓. 짓 plus 오 is 주. And then 시옷 plus 아 is 사. 주사. 주사 is shot. 쥐 plus 이 is 지. 디귿 plus 오 is 도. 지도. 지도 is map. 칫. 칫 plus 아 is 차. 자동차 차 타세요. When your parents or guardians say that. 차 means, of course, car. And finally, 칫 plus 이 is 치. And then 칫 plus 으 is 주. 치즈. Cheese is, of course, again, they sound exactly the same, mean the same thing. Cheese. Alrighty. 기억. 기억 plus 오. Plus O is 코. 코 is, of course, nose. Finally, 기억 plus 이 is 키. Ki means height. Look at 디귿. 디귿 plus 아 is 타. 지읒 plus 오 is 조. 타조. 타조 means ostrich. The second one is T plus O equal to To. Mium plus A is equal to Ma. T plus O again is equal to To again. So tomato. Tomato is, of course, a tomato. 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 Sound very similar, mean the same thing. Tomato. That's right for P. T plus O. Po. T plus O is equal to Do. Podo. Podo means, of course, grape. Finally, P plus E is equal to P. In plus A is just A, the same as, it's just the mom sound because it's silent. Nian plus O is No. Piano. Piano는, of course, piano. Again, one of those words that sound the same, or they mean the same thing too. Alrighty, and finally for the last page, today's lesson, here plus A, Ha. Mium plus A is Ma. And Hama, of course, is hippo. Plus O is Ho. Shut plus U is Su. Hosu. Hosu, of course, is a lake. Alrighty, that is today's review. We looked at 기본 charms and moms, combined them into letters, combined the letters into basic words. Alright, ending off. Make sure to practice your reading and writing. And congratulations for getting into a new book. Next week we're going to start 17 to 33. And for this week's homework, you're going to go from page 4 to 16. I want you guys to go through it again and practice the vocab, pronunciation, memorizing the vocab, and learning how to spell them, because I'm actually going to have a small spelling test after next week's lesson. So from 4 to 33, I'm going to take a couple words that we've learned and reviewed, and then we're going to spell them out when I say them. So I hope you guys take some time to review and memorize what they are. Alright, yeah, that's it. So see you next week. Goodbye.